Okay, so my thoughts are with those that have lost property. Fortunately, there have been no injuries or fatalities reported at this time. So, fire and police are doing an outstanding job. Continue to work on containing the fires. Very busy. And so I'll now hand it over to Dave Key, who's the incident controller from FENZ, who can give you more in-depth update as to what's happening. So thank you, Dave.
Thank you. So operationally today our focus remains on active firefighting and strengthening our containment lines. We've got 11 crews on site with heavy machinery and dangerous tree fellers supported by 2 helicopters. We're asking the people in Kaikōura Flats area who haven't been evacuated to be vigilant, and if they see any fires to call 111 immediately. Also, a total fire ban on outdoor fires and fireworks comes into effect at 1200 or midday today in the Marlborough, Canterbury and South Canterbury areas. This is due to the extreme fire risk and the impending weather. We're asking every landowner, agricultural contractor, forestry manager, lifestyle block owner if they can go and check on any fires that they've had recently and make sure that they have been extinguished. And we continue to work with police, and our priorities again is containment of the fire and the welfare of the people who have been affected and impacted.
Senior Sergeant Mike Whitty from Marlborough Police. Our priorities are to assist FENZ, as Dave said. We're also managing controlled visits for the families affected by the fires, so they can visit their affected properties. And I do appeal to motorists to adhere to the limited speed areas in and around the Kaikōura area. Thank you.
Kia ora koutou, I'm Will Doughty from the Kaikōura District Council. We're leading a bit of the EOC response supporting fire and police, so I can give you a little bit of an update in terms of where our focuses are on at the moment. So in terms of roading and rail, State Highway 1 has now opened north of Kaikōura under traffic management and is fully open south. People need to be vigilant for hazards on the roads. Inland Road remains closed and is likely to stay closed for the rest of the day. In terms of local roads, we have local road closures between Old Beach Road and State Highway 1, which includes Factory Road, Skevington's, Haupuku and Wilderness Roads. The Kiwi Rail have recently just announced that they will be opening the train tracks, but under speed management. So in terms of our water supply, we have all supplies have been returned to service apart from those in Clarence and parts of Fernley, but we're busy working on those. We're just asking people to conserve water where they can. In terms of power, main power assessing all of the damage and are prioritising reconnecting power links, the main power links along State Highway 1. But we are asking people that they may need to prepare for the fact that power may be off to their properties for several days and maybe longer, and to check our websites for updates. In terms of schools, all schools are open today with the exception of Haupuku School being in the cordoned area. cordons remain in place, and those that have been asked to evacuate, predominantly in the Bay Paddock and Haupuka areas, are being asked not to return to their properties at this point in time. Fire crews are reassessing that and will make a decision later on the afternoon in terms of when people may be able to return to their properties from the evacuated areas. In terms of our welfare support, so Takahanga Marae is available for any support for evacuated people. If anyone has any immediate welfare concerns, they can either present to the fire station here directly, and one of our welfare team will pick up the contact from there. We are looking at probably an ongoing event, certainly in terms of the fire containment for the next few days, but obviously the recovery and the welfare support is going to go on longer for that, so we're just putting our systems in place to make sure that we have the right welfare support and connections in from everybody at the hospitals and further beyond. Thoughts are with everybody at this time, and as the Mayor said, particularly those that may have lost structures. We are mindful, and we are planning for the fact that weather may deteriorate again tomorrow in terms of winds. So just to repeat the message that came from Dave in terms of, if anybody sees a fire flares up or has concerns around fires or hotspots, please ring 111 immediately. Thank you.
Dave, is there any update on that damage situation that came through last night? The 14 structures, 5 houses, that situation?
We haven't got an exact number right now, but definitely multiple structures. And at this stage we believe 5 residential properties have been impacted.
And ahead of tomorrow, what are the concerns here?
Really, there's a number of dangerous trees out now that are burning from the inside out, so that's a priority for us. And really strengthening our containment lines while we've got this small weather window before the wind picks up this afternoon, and more again tomorrow.
What's the resourcing like, Dave? Because I understand a number of crews that were coming down from Benham were diverted to this fire that was yesterday in Clarence, and they weren't able to get here. So how spread out are you? I mean, this of course is a vast fire ground as well, I guess.
Yes, it is quite a large fire ground. Resources today, we're okay. We brought more in from the south, and more crews come in this morning to relieve those last night. So we're currently planning for the resources we'll need for tonight and tomorrow. But if the weather is as predicted, we'll be looking at ramping up resources on Thursday.
And what kind of numbers are those? Because I know last night we said about 37 crews, 100 and some people, and apparently even though it's less crews, there's around the same number of bodies, is that right?
Yeah, there's 11 crews, so approximately 50 firefighters on the fire ground today.
How large is the fire ground?
We haven't mapped it completely because it's in like 3 different sectors, so that mapping is taking place now.
And in terms of threat to livestock and animals in the area, how is that going to be mitigated or managed today and tomorrow?
As you heard earlier, we're, along with police and council, having managed entry for residents who had to be evacuated, so they can go and see the impact on their livestock. I understand MPI is also involved, so I mean that's a priority for us as well for livestock, making sure that cattle and sheep get watered in the meantime.
You talk about managed entry for residents. Do you know how many people were evacuated overnight?
No, we do know. I just can't remember the number.
Okay.
Dave, what was it like yesterday? Because looking down the road, say Highway 1, the wind must have been enormous. People have told me about log splitters getting tossed across their properties and things. And then you had cars overturned, caravans, vegetation fires. It sounds sort of apocalyptic.
Well, I wasn't here yesterday. I came up this morning, but down in Christchurch, which was, and you know the winds weren't as severe up here. It was quite substantial, all around the country. There were caravans blowing over motorhomes, so, very strong winds.
But in terms of the fire leaping and spreading, that must have been frightening to deal with.
Yeah, well, definitely when you have high winds, the fire does tend to spot, so it can, start another fire 500, 1,000 metres, downwind.
I heard there were several fire investigators that were coming up today to try to understand the cause. Do
Yep.
you have any indication? Is it something to do with the lions falling?
Oh, way too early. They've only just arrived and they're out in the field now, so their role will be to determine cause and origin.
Have you had any communication with the iwi in regards to what's going on at the marae? Any
Yep.
support and welfare coming through, or is that like a mural question?
I can respond to that. So we've been in close contact with the chair of the Runanga, and they were the first to offer opening up Takahanga Marae as a welfare centre, and we've been it's literally just across the road from here. We've been in close contact with them. My understanding is that they had close to 20 people stay there overnight. I think a lot of those that were locals that were asked to evacuate managed to find friends and family to go to, but obviously we're incredibly grateful for Te Runanga o Kaikōura for the support that they're providing at Takahanga Marae, and once again they did exactly the same during the earthquake, and it's great to see that being offered to our community.
I see Mangamano Marae is also nearby. Is that within the cordon zone?
It's not within the cordon zone at present. I'm unaware of if there's anyone taking shelter there at the moment, but we've been encouraging people that Takahanga Marae is the first point of call if they need shelter. But obviously, as we move on, we now move into that longer term welfare support and needing to find a longer term options than just immediate shelter for people that may have been displaced.
And I'm not sure who this goes to, but what can you tell us about the people who've lost homes? Are they holiday homes? Are they permanent residents? What area is it predominantly?
I'm not at liberty to comment on the details of that. There's a number of properties that have been affected, either in terms of their homes or structures that they might have on their properties, and predominantly in that main source of the fire area, which is along Bay Paddock Road and Old Beach Road. But obviously we are prioritising working with them because it's been incredibly traumatic for them, and we want to make sure that they get all of the support that we can give them at this point in time.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve.
Where are the other fires going to come from? Are they coming from Christchurch? They're going to come down from Māori?
Maybe they'll come from Christchurch, but we'll bring them from wherever we need once we work out the resources for particularly tomorrow. Yeah.
And if you've got 130k winds, as Met Service is predicting, what kind of fire resource do you need to ramp up?
Lots. It's just people on the ground, really. So, obviously once we get notification of a fire, we want to get there early and do what we can. Our priority is always protect life and then property second.
Is there going to be any resources coming from?
Just back in front of the mic. Continuing. Sorry, guys.
I wasn't going to.
Any resourcing coming from the North Island, just as this wind picks up? I know they're dealing with some of their own issues, but the wind's going to pick up sort of across the whole of the South Island. I mean, we can't take people from all over the place, so how are we going to cope with making sure that fireys get rest in between their work?
We're good at managing our people's fatigue, even during trying times like this. In terms of resources from the North Island, I'm not aware at this stage that we'd need to bring them in for this incident, but there are other incidents around the country where we could pull resources like swiftwater rescue teams to areas where they're needed.
And has there been any talk of like the military coming in to help, like some of their fireys from nzherald?
Not at this stage, but they are always a consideration when we are starting to fatigue our people.
Thanks, guys. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.